I mean, are you shocked? What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. And man, another loss in the same fashion that the Giants have been losing games all season. I mean, I knew that this was going to go downhill as soon as Jackson Dart got hurt. And it's not even the fact that Jackson Dart got hurt why they lost the game. It's not. I don't care what anybody says. It is not. And we'll get into that in just a second. But before we start, as always, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Also, remember to hit that hype button. You guys have been doing that lately, and I've seen a boost in the algorithm. I don't know if that's attributed to that, but keep hitting that hype button. If you don't know where it's at, slide to if you're on mobile, slide where the comments are at. There should be a hype button there. Just hit that. Helps me out a ton. You don't have to pay a dime. You just hit that button. Also, check out Sleeper for a 100% match up to $100 on Sleeper. Great deal that they got going on over there. And, yeah, they would have hit big. The Giants hit a lot of these mores on more or less on your favorite pick slip. Theo Johnson had a lot of yards. Darius Slayton had a lot of yards. Jackson Dart, I'm sure, went over his amount because I think it's probably like 190 or something like that. So, yeah, check out Sleeper the next chance you get. The Giants could be playing a decent, they played a normal football game for 3 quarters. Were there things that went wrong? Absolutely. There was stuff that, bad penalties here and there, bad 4th down stops, maybe a bad pass, a bad drop pass, they're not getting the running game established. That is all normal. That is all football, right? You're not going to be perfect on every play. But they were up 20-10 in this game. They were up 20-10 in this game. And the start of the 4th quarter, it was 20-10. Jackson Dart gets hurt in the 3rd. I believe it was the 3rd. Or maybe in the beginning of the 4th. Jackson Dart gets hurt. And it's not Jackson Dart's fault. Or not because of the Jackson Dart injury that the Giants lost. The Giants lost because they crumbled in the 4th quarter for what seems like the umpteenth time. How many times is this going to happen? And it's crazy that as Giants fans, I had my chat, even my co-host, Kush, saying that, we're going to lose this game. It was just obvious. We were doubled up on them, 20-10. And we have people in the chat saying, we're going to lose this game. Why is that a thing? I don't blame anybody for saying that. It's on them, the Giants. Why is that a thing? Because it's occurred so many times. It's crazy how a team can stop another team for 10 points through 3 quarters, but leave it to the last quarter, and they score not only the same amount, but more. 14 points in the 4th quarter to lose the game. It should not matter if Jackson Dart gets hurt. You don't lose points for Jackson Dart getting hurt. You keep the points you have. The only thing left to do is to keep the other team from scoring. You could finish the game 20-10, 20-13, 20-17. Why on earth do you have to lose the game because your quarterback goes down? You have to lose the game 24-20. Now, could the Giants have won this game with Jackson Dart? Absolutely. I believe he could have went down that field and scored a touchdown. By the way, the play that he got hurt on, there is no way that's a fumble. Okay? Yes, was the ball knocked out of his hands? Absolutely. He caught the ball on his way down, and if the ground causes you to fumble, then it's down by contact. You do not have to complete a catch to the ground on a fumble. You don't need to do that. For those of you guys that are confused about the rules, it appears the referees were as well. I'm not going to blame it on that because the Giants had a lot of opportunities to stay in this game besides that play. Right? The defense. Okay. The defense, good. There was a lot of stuff I liked, even in the back end, right? even in the back end covering a lot of these players. Now, they have a very talented wide receiver core. You cannot tell me you weren't expecting big plays from Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, right? These guys are really, really good receivers against our secondary. I knew they were going to do something on us, but they didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought they were going to do. So shout out to the back end. They are not good. Our back end is not good. So I commend them for holding the team for 10 points. But they still gave up a lot in the end, right? You got to finish. Our defensive line. Oh my God. Aren't they the most frustrated? You don't want to blame them. You don't want to get mad at them. You don't want to get angry and frustrated at them because they're so talented and they force a lot of pressure. The Giants lead the NFL in pressures right now or something like that. They're having an insane rate of pressure, and we have 20 sacks on the year to show for it. By this time this year, they're averaging what is that, 2 sacks a game, and almost more than half is Brian Burns. More than half of our sacks is just Brian Burns. You take him out the equation, and nobody has any sacks to their name, right? Abdul Carter got robbed again. He was robbed for 1 this week. He probably should have 5 sacks on the season. And every time he gets to the quarterback, it's called back. That's a shame, bro. It really sucks. But this team is undisciplined. It goes to show how undisciplined this team really is. Right? When you have Jackson Dart running for a big gain, we have a block in the back by Daniel Bellinger. Why are you even doing that? False starts up the ass. Andrew Thomas, every single year, Andrew Thomas is due for a couple of illegal man downfield penalties, and he had one this game. I knew it. I called it. As soon as the penalty was there, and then Greg Olsen says it looks like it may have been an illegal man downfield, I knew it was Andrew Thomas. Knew it. What else, man? What else? The running game, nothing when Jackson Dart was there. Nothing. But then Russell Wilson comes in and we're running the ball extremely well. Where the hell was that? And then the next thing is where do we go from here? Oh, to end things off on defense, you got to get these guys down. Kayvon Thibodeau had multiple chances. Abdul Carter, multiple chances. Brian Burns, multiple chances to get Caleb Williams to the ground. And he was as slippery as a freaking worm in there, man. I mean, shout out to Caleb Williams. He looked like prime USC Caleb Williams back there, bro. He did his thing back there. Shout out to Caleb Williams. He had a great game. The stats don't really show it, but he had a great game. He could have threw for 300 on us for sure. He had some crazy throws in this game. So did Jackson Dart, by the way. Jackson Dart was on his way to having a career high in passing yards. He had 200 yards to start the second quarter. To start the second half. So in the third quarter, he had 200 yards already. That's close to his top. I think his top is 250. I said something like that. His career high is 250. I think he would have broke that. And he was on his way to scoring 3 touchdowns. So I don't know. Where do we go from here? Listen, Brian Daboll is gonna. It's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. Brian Daboll has to go. Joe Shane has to go. Shane Bowen has to go. You cannot be a head coach in the NFL if you don't know how to close a game. I don't want to hear about injuries when you have the San Francisco 49ers literally in the driver's seat of their division and they have their entire team on IR, including their quarterback. You had the Texans have a backup quarterback out there and have a 26-point comeback in the fourth quarter to win the game. You have the Detroit Lions that have Amazon workers as their defense, and they are still finding ways to win games and close out games, more importantly. There's no excuse, guys. The injuries, no excuse. Shane Bowen needs to go for allowing the roster to look as it is. Why is it that Malik Neighbors goes down and automatically is the worst wide receiving core in the NFL? Why are you depending on one guy to make a position look good? Brian Daboll, it sucks. I like him as a coordinator. I like him as a play. I like him as a offense designer. I love the offense that he runs. I love the offense that he has. There's plenty of reasons why. I don't want to get into it right now. It's very versatile. There's not many offenses in the NFL as versatile and expansive as Brian Dable's. He runs Jackson Dart into the ground, man. He really does. And I know Mike Kafka is calling these plays, but they're doing game plans. They're going over how many times they should run Jackson Dart. And to be fair, Brian Dable is using Jackson Dart the same way he used Daniel Jones, the same way he used Josh Allen. The only difference is, although Jackson Dart has that dog in him like the other two quarterbacks do, he's significantly smaller than them. He's like 6'2", 215 pounds, give or take. When you have a Daniel Jones who's 6'5", 230, and you have a Josh Allen who's like 6'5", 240 or something like that, right? These guys are huge. Not Jackson Dart. Significantly smaller. And Jackson Dart, on every single game this season, besides I think one, the Philly game he got taken out too. I can't remember. Maybe the second Philly game. I don't know. I don't remember. But he's gotten taken out of the game due to injury. They got to check him out. He has to check him out in the tent for something. He has to He has to take a play off or something like that every single game. Gets up a little hobbled every single game. Maybe it was the Denver game. He didn't go in the tent, but he had a bad ankle. He like twisted his ankle a little bit in the Denver game. Dable just is running Jackson Dart into the ground, man. Not good at all. So we'll see who's our next head coach. I don't know. I doubt, guys. I know a lot of people hope for it. I doubt Dable gets fired this early. I think they're going to ride it out because they might just fire Joe Schoen and Brian Dable as they should. But maybe there's more I wanted to talk about, but I'm not going to bore you guys anymore, man. Maybe I'll do another video tomorrow or something like that. There's more I wanted to talk about as far as the future of the Giants. I think we had the Packers next. That's what chat was telling me. We had the Packers next, and we're probably going to see Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston. I'd rather see Jameis at this point. What else do we have to lose? So, that being said, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Shout out Sleeper and make sure to check them out. Promo code 27Squad. We'll see you guys in the next video. Woo.